Hello, all my friends. Today I'm here to actually try to do a tutorial. Now, I've never really done anything like this tutorial before. I'm going to try and do this. Um, I'm not very experienced, so you got to bear with me. Now, I was asked to do this, to come up um, with this design. I think this is what she wanted. I have this friend Connie. She's an online friend. She's what do you call her? A fan? No, I don't have fans. Online person. She watches my videos, but she wondered if I could come up with something, and she gave me kind of the what she wanted, and so like the tips and tricks of what she wanted. So I said, I bet I can do that. And so I said, I'll take the challenge. So here's what I come up with. Right down here to the showroom floor we go. And this is the showroom floor, right here. Right there. Okay, now, I'm all coordinated and stuff here. But she wanted this made with like envelopes. And here was my first try at it. And although this isn't exactly what she wanted, so I'm going to make another one. And this one, I'm going to make it with y'all watching. Okay, so here's how we go with this. We're going to I'm going to make two covers, one back cover and one front cover. That makes pretty much good sense. And so one back cover and a front cover. Okay, so let me just put that right there out the way. So what we do now, it's going to I guess I should first say that the album is going to be made out of envelopes. Now, you can use any size envelope you wish, but these envelopes in which I am using are 5¼ inches by 7¼ inches. And let me tell you first what I'm doing with the envelopes is you can just cut this whole top piece off, but I just leave it on and I'm tucking it in. And tucking it in, it just gives it a little bit more stability. So I am making this one using 7 envelopes. And I'm tucking that little top flap in. And so you'll go by whatever size envelopes you have. These envelopes I had in my stash. I don't know where I got them or nothing like that. They just happen to be something that I have. And so now I have 7 envelopes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't need that. Put that over there in that stack of stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I cut, because these are 7¼ I cut these pieces. These pieces are going to line this part of the world is happy to know that, darling. And these are going to go inside there, inside the envelope, just to cover that area. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm just going to put just a bit of glue along the top of that piece, because just to keep it from sliding all the way down in the envelope. And just slide it right down in there. I use glue. You could use double-sided tape if you so choose, but I can never get that stuff straight. This way I've got a little wiggle room, so I get that in there and straight. Now 5 of these envelopes I'm going to do the same way. I'm going to just put the glue along what's going to be the top side, and I just slide it on in there. Now you can get all fancy with these and make them all different colors, or just choose what colors you want. But I'm just doing mine all this one same way. I cut that just a tad shorter. This is 7 1/4 inches, so I cut these at like 7, just a hair more than 7, so that it would slide in there nicely. And then I cut it 2 inches this way, because that's the only, that's all it needed. It doesn't need to go all the way down. So I cut them 7 inches by 2 inches, and they fit into my 7 1/4 inch envelope. Now, these can be made to any size, whatever envelopes you have. And like the last envelope journal I posted, I don't know, the envelopes were a little bit bigger, but I get so many envelopes just donated, because I've lived in the same place now 43 years, and so I know a lot of people in the area. And so I tell my peeps to save me used envelopes, used greeting cards, and that kind of thing. And they do. They save me because they know I'm a hoarder, you know. They know I'm a hoarder, and so they save me things. But then they also find, like, at their yard sales and stuff, because we're yard sale fanatics, thrift shop fanatics, and we go and find stuff. And actually, these envelopes came out of a set of envelopes that were made for wedding invitations that you would print out on your computer or whatnot. Okay, now I put those in those 4 envelopes. Now, 3 of the envelopes are going to be folded in half in 2, by folding the inward part inward. All right, now, and I'm just going to fold that one, fold them half in 2, like that. Each one of those 3 envelopes. Okay, now, whatever size you choose, there you go. You're going to put them half in 2. Now, I cut these other, that one's ripped right there. I think I'm going to throw that over here. Get this one instead, because I don't want no ripped. I guess I ripped it. Okay, now I cut the other ones that were still 7 inches by 2 inches, and I cut those half in 2. So that's 3.5 inches by 2. And again, if you don't have, you go by what size your envelope is. You want to measure, go in there, Elizabeth Murray. I'm telling you, sometimes I just am so klutzy. I'm trying to be very professional here. Whoopsie daisies. Okay, and so I got that in there. And then I'm going to put this one. And I just put the glue at the top, And then you don't need a whole bunch. Just a little bit. I'm using Eileen's tacky glue here. You use whatever's your favorite. I have a couple of favorites. Sometimes I can't even figure out which one's my favorite, but then the same way with my kids. I can't figure out which one's my favorite. So I always tell them when one of them's here. I tell whoever is here that they're my favorite. Oops, did I lose my doohickey? Oh no, here it is. Soon I'm going to get professional, like the professional YouTubers. I'm planning on it anyway. That's my long-term goal. Since I'm 67, I don't know how much long-term I got left, but you never know. I may get professional. before doomsday. Look at this. I'm not doing very well in frame, am I? Okay, I keep looking over at my computer to see if I'm in frame, and then I see nothing. But it looks okay now. But see, because I tried to, well, never mind, I didn't do anything. Actually, I tried to clear off some of my mess, but I'm allergic to cleaning, like, I try so hard to get things all organized and professional. Okay, see, so that's 2 pieces, see? And, because that's going to go in this way, folded. And so, and that's going to be every other page. Now what we have to do, I cut a piece, because I'm going to have 7. Okay, now we got these envelopes. The envelopes are almost ready to go. Almost. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get them ready. I'm going to take these envelopes, and I'm going to turn them so they're the right way. Or the wrong way, I don't know what way. How am I going to do this? Oh yeah, this way. This way. And I'm going to take double-sided tape, and I'm going to put this double-sided tape at the bottom of each envelope. This is about a 1/2 inch tape or something similar to that. You know what? I lost my little thing. I had a little thingamajig, and it came off of a little tape doohickey. Okay, this will work. And did you finish your math page, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And okay, you can play your game now. Then and so I'm putting this double-sided tape. You can use glue if you choose, or I'm using tape because it's quick, and I'm using this tape because it's got my name on it. It says Elizabeth. I heard some people say they don't like this kind of tape. So, and I am always for the underdog. So since other people said they don't like it, then I'm using it. Because I am always for the underdog. Isn't that weird? Same thing happens when we do the Super Bowl thing. Well, unless it's Tampa Bay Bucks, then I'm for them. But they're usually the underdog, so yeah, that's how that works. I'm always for the underdog. And so, actually, this is the last roll of tape. Now I got one more roll of tape. Okay, see, so I put that on there. Now these ones that I have folded in half are going to get their tape just down there on that one at the bottom of that half. See, so it's the same way, but we're just putting it on the half. These little cutter things are neat. My friend, I have a couple friends, I have 2 or 3. But anyway, my one friend, Nancy, she made one of these cutters by cutting, you know them little knifey things they have like on aluminum foil and wax paper and whatnot? Well, she just cut a piece of that cutty thing off, just about an inch and a half. And then she put a piece of chipboard on either side of it and glued it all up together. And that's her little thing that she cuts with. But now some of these washi tapes that you buy, this Little B brand of washi tape, some of them come with a little cutter on them already. And so, yeah, that one doesn't have it. But anyway, they come with a cutter on them, and you can take that off of the packaging and keep it forever. See, I have another one around here somewhere that I did take off of this. Okay, so now I'm just burnishing this a little bit so that will be stuck good on there. And then I can say that my envelopes are finished. All right. So I'm just going to burnish them on there. Nice and tight and professionally. Alright, now, so those are finished. Now then, okay, let's see. This here cover, I already covered this. I already covered this one. I don't know if this is going to be the front or the back, but they're both the same, so it don't matter. Now, on the next one, I cut a piece of chipboard, and I cut it at 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. So I cut it a 1/2 inch bigger both ways than the envelope. So when I put the envelope in, because it's going to fit edge just like this at the edge, then I have a 1/4 inch top and bottom and a 1/2 inch on the side, on the open edge. And that is to where when I put, like, I want to put like a tabs inside, pages inside, but I want to put like a file folder tab on them, and then that will be perfect, and it'll fit inside that cover. Got that? All right, write that down. Now, I'm going to put this, I'm just using an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. All of this brownish paper is just craft colored cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to put that there so it won't be apt to move. I want it to stay still. Okay, now what I do is I take my scissors that looks like they're lost. Oh no, here they are. Okay, I found my scissors. Now I'm going to clip off the corner, each corner. And I leave about a 1/4 inch from this corner to the edge of the paper. About a 1/4 inch is what I cut. I find that works best for me. Some people like less than that, but I usually leave about a 1/4 inch. Oliver, is that you? It's just a false alarm. Nothing's out there. I can see the driveway. There's nobody in the driveway. All right, now. So that's what I do there. Then the next thing I do, the next trick, I have this little piece of foam. It's just foam. You can use a mouse pad or anything that's foamy. And then what I do is I take and I go ahead and I use my bone folder and I score right along that edge. So it's going to fold right nice and neatly against that piece of chipboard. And see if you have that foam underneath there. I think they sell these for like when you're stamping. If you stamp on foam, you usually get a better stamp. I think that this was like twice the size, but then I cut it in half, so I have 2. All right, now I'm going to take that and I'm going to give it an extra little fold up, and I'm going to do that on all 4 of those sides. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to go right down that where I just scored it. And then plus I'm going to go along the edge there, okay? See, so you can't see through my glue bottle, can you? Okay. Maybe I should do it lefty, like this. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, I don't know. So. But anyhow, I'm not lefty. Okay. And look at this. I put my glue in this cup. Just lives in that cup, because then the glue's always at the bottom. Alright, so then now I'm going to turn that against, do both the long ends I usually do first. I don't know why I do the long ends first, I just do. So I don't think there's any rhyme or reason if you do the long ends first or the short ends first. Just do it. to, kind of use a, they send you this junk mail, you know, and in the junk mail they'll send you like this fake credit card, and they make nice squeegees. They make a good tool. I mean, to tell you, you just use one of them, and you can get it all smoothed out nicely. And see, I should have done this one already, just to make sure I've got a squish, a nice smooth. All right, now I'm going to go, see I left that 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to turn that 1/4 of an inch in, and it'll just go in just a little ways. It won't go much, but it goes in just a little bit. I just put that in there, and it kind of fixes that corner up so it's nice, because we do want nice corners. All right, now, and then we will do the same thing here. And I'll just go ahead and put that glue just like that, just, you know, around the edge of it. But I want to get the glue for sure inside this where it's going to fold, because then it kind of moistens the paper a little bit and breaks down the fibers just a little bit, so that when you then do fold it up, it's got a nice smooth fold and it doesn't crinkle. Now see, if you didn't have that glue in there, and if it was just dry, you might get a crinkly fold on here. But having that glue in there, it goes nice and smoothly. And yes, when you get these, you know, AARP's a real good one. Since what? I think they started sending me stuff when I was like 55, and now I'm 67. They send all this AA and R&P stuff, you know, and they always come with a nice card. So you take the card out, put in with your supplies, throw the rest of it away. Oh, you never know. Okay, now I have cut, whoopsie daisies, I have cut this piece the same size as my cover. And like I say, my cover I cut at 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, because I made it a 1/2 inch bigger than my envelope. So whatever size, if you have little bitty envelopes or whatever, a 1/2 inch bigger than your envelope. Now, I also then take my corner chomper. I just use the 1/4 inch corner, and I go ahead and I cut them corners off. Okay, and I'm going to just cut them corners off, and only because it makes just a nicer little, when you glue it all down here, it just makes it a little nicer. So then back to my glue, and I'm going to go all the way around here on this as well. Make sure I get it like corners there. And then I'm going to turn that over, and it'll fit just circumspectly on that side. And so then, okay, and once that's down there, then I'm going to use my squeegee again and make sure I go up this way, because I want to make sure that glue goes to the, and that corner might have had a little bit too much. But that's okay. It squashed out onto my pad, whatever, it's okay. It's all okay. In my life, everything's okay. I don't deal with stress. I don't like stress, so if I make a big fat mess, it doesn't matter, because I don't want no stress. Okay, here we go. Now, that's the two covers. All right, now that's the two covers, front and back. How beautiful those are. I'm not going to be doing decorating on here, because I'm just giving you the skeleton part of the album. Okay, now I have one more piece of cardstock cut here. Now this piece of cardstock is cut to 7 1/4, because it's going to be the same size as the envelope. So that's why I cut that to 7 1/4, because I have it the same width as the envelope. Now, I have 7 pages, so I cut 7 inches plus 1 inch on each side. So I have the whole thing 9 inches because I have it cut, because it's going to fit 7 pages. So you need 1 inch for each page. So that's why I have this scoreboard doohickey here. Now is where I score it. Now I always, no matter what size your album envelopes are that you're going to make, you're going to score this the same. The only thing you'll do different, if you have a different amount of pages, you'll use that amount to make your, like if you have 10 inches, then you'll want, if you want 10 pages, use 12 inches of paper. But mine has got 7 pages, so I'm using 9 inches, the 7 plus 2 inches. So now I'm going to score this first at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to score it at 1 inch. So always 3/4 of an inch and then 1/4. After you do the 3/4 and 1/4, that's that inch, then you're going to go every 1/2 inch. And you're going to do that until you get to that last inch. So 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, and 8. Now all I have is that inch left down here on the end, but I need 1/4 of an inch there, so after I did that 8, I'm going to go to 8 1/4. Now, for me, I find it easier to fold if I go over the lines, the scoring lines on the other side. Otherwise, I find it a little bit hard to fold. So I'm going to go again over them same markings, but I'm doing the other side just to make that a little bit easier to fold. There is a kind of a rule of thumb that when you fold your scored piece of paper, that you fold it on the score with the actual score piece, the score side where the score is, to be on the outside. But this way I'm doing both sides, and so that it's just definitely going to make it easier to fold. Now this, okay, now I have my pieces, now I have that the spine is all folded. So now you see a 3/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, all these 1/2 inches, and then another 1/4 of an inch and a 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to fold first the 3/4 of an inch, the 3/4 and a half. Am I supposed to fold them down? Let me see, maybe it's up. Okay. Yeah, it's up, so we'll just turn it over, and now it's up. Okay, so I want this one up, and then I fold. So both of those first 2 lines are up. Then I want the next line down. I hope I'm doing that right. Yeah. It'll be the same, it'll be right anyway, because if it's wrong, just turn it upside down. Okay, and so now I'm going to just accordion fold it, or fan fold it, all those 1/2 inches. Each one of those 1/2 inches is going to just be fan folded, or accordion folded, whichever you wish to call it. Now, I also want a little disclaimer here. I don't claim to be the designer of this. Jeffrey, would you get this phone for me? It's your mother. Yeah, would you get that? Thank you. That's my daughter's ring. Isn't that funny? She picked it herself. And so anyway, I'm doing that. I'm excuse my coughing. I just sometimes cough. I don't know why, but I'm kind of having to do scoring on this too. This is kind of heavy, this paper. I get my craft cardstock from Hobby Lobby. I like it there, and a while back they had it all 50% off. You know, they run good sales over there to the Hobby Lobby. And so I went and ordered like 10 packs because, you know, when it's 50% off, that's when I like to get my stuff. Okay, so I'm getting that, these arthritic fingers. Okay, now, hopefully I got that right. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, and so then that last 1/4 of an inch, make sure that one is down too. So it kind of looks like that. Like it looks like that. Do you see that on both of those edges? It's going to end up looking like that. But then throughout the book, throughout the rest of the spine, it's just going to be, I don't know how come when I do that, sometimes it still comes up crooked. It's because I'm not professional. Now, if I was professional, I'd probably get it just right. And so because I sometimes get it all scrooched up like this, I can just kind of just, there, see now it's a little bit more straight. There we go. Because I just kind of, if you understand my words, I just kind of squished it back so it's kind of sort of straight. Okay, now that's the spine. All right, now, okay, now see, my other one I didn't do exactly like this because I didn't put that 1/4 inch gusset in there. This time I'm putting that 1/4 inch gusset at the either end. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pages in, the envelope pages. I'm going to put those in. If this camera shows any of my mess, just ignore it. Wait a minute, I'm going to turn this. Oh, wait, there we go. Now, and so what I'm going to do here is right here on this first, okay, there's hills and valleys. Hills, valley, hill, valley, hill, valley. So we're going up the hill first, ignoring this inch on the end right now. We're just going up this hill first, and I'm going to pull this tape backing. Oh, good grief, Elizabeth Murray. Okay. And I just get that put on. Now you can glue this. If you don't have tape, just glue it. Use glue, whatever. See? And how that just, now that's just going to go on there. Now on this, then I'm alternating them. So now I'm going to take that tape off of the second page, and I'm going to go to the next uphill. I'm putting that right in the middle of that. Yeah, that's right. I hope that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'll make sure that all of those, yeah, just so long as those go that way. It's not going to really matter. Okay, let me put this one in. I can't think and talk at the same time. I used to could think and talk. You know, I don't really think and talk. Did I think it? Usually I can't think and talk, and as I look at this particular envelope, I can see that I missed gluing that piece in there. How did I do that? Were y'all watching me? Did I do that? Okay, let me get that in there. And let me fix my error. Let me fix the error of my ways and get that glued in there. Get this one glued in there too. Now see, I don't know how come I didn't glue that. Jeez, and I'm trying to be all professional and stuff. Boy, am I got myself fooled. Okay. And this is one of the reasons I use glue too. Doggone it. Oh, there, I got it straight. But that was almost a cuss, doggone it. If I cuss, I got to put a quarter in the cuss jar. I don't want to have to do that. Okay, now. Okay, and now I'm back to the short one. Now make sure I got my envelopes all pointing the same direction. My tops. Of course, this does look confusing right now, doesn't it? But I'm putting that right there on the upside of that mountain top, like you're going up the mountain. Okay, now I get my, see, I had already put that tape on there, so now I'm just pulling the binding off, or the paper covering off, and I'm putting that in there. Connie, I hope you're watching this, and I'm hoping this is what you were talking about. I hope this is it. Because if it's not, you'll have to let me know, and I'll see if I can come up with something different. Okay, now, this is my last page. Now I'm putting that up on that upside of that mountain. Like I'm climbing up the mountain with this envelope. Okay, now with all them pages in there, now, there we go. So I have, now see what I could have done was turn them pages this way, but it's okay with them going that way. Because what I'll wind up doing is this page, this side will be envelope. This page here, I may put a pocket right here on this side and decorate maybe. So this is going to have a lot of pockets in it. Now, the next thing I do, now I look at the edge. I look here and see how it just all comes like this? Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in every one of these valleys. In the valleys. Ho, 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 green giant. Okay, and I am going to go with my glue, and I'm going to give every one of them valleys some glue. See, you see what I'm doing there? I'm giving each one of the valleys on the outside of that spine some glue. Now, I am sure other people have come up with this idea, and I haven't found it yet, but I'm sure people have done the same way. But I kind of like that. Now, I'm just going to mash it all together. See there? Mash it together. I'm going to hold it a little bit. Or you know what I might do is I might just put a clip. Clump! Sometimes I wonder where I get my words. You never know. I got these here clips. Do you know where these clips come from? They're the clips you can get from the, when you get a balloon, a helium balloon, you know, from the store. They put these clips on the balloon, and one time I said, "Can I buy some of them clips?" And the lady just took a handful of them, put them in a little bag, put a little thing on there, wrote 50 cents, and that's what I paid for a whole bunch of them. I mean, they must have been 25 of them in there. 2 cents a piece, ain't bad. Billy, Jeffy, did your mom have anything important to say? Oh, so you don't know who's picking you up, if it's your dad or your mom? Oh, he will come. Okay, so your dad's picking you up. All right, now, it doesn't, I just had to check, make sure there wasn't like any emergency on that phone call. But usually when she calls, she just wants to talk to her child. She usually doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, now let's see how that works. Let's see. That glue sticks pretty fast. So see, that's pretty stuck. Now, excuse me, I dropped my bone folder and I'm picking it up. Okay, got it. Now, see, now you got that on each edge is that 1/4 inch. On each edge, that's that 1/4 inch and then that 3/4 inch. See, that's where the inch on the edge. So that's why I say you need 1 inch for each page and then 1 inch for each side. So this has 7 pages, so that was 7 inch, and then the 1 inch for each side made it 9. So it's going to depend on how many pages you want. Now you may not want these folded in half pages, and if you don't want them, if you just want regular pages, just do it regular. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now make sure that fold, I don't want to get any glue on that 1/4 inch there. I want to get glue only on that 3/4 inch. And so I am going to get that glue just on the 3/4 inch. Now again, if you're a double tape kind of guy, then you just use the double-sided tape. That's totally up to you. Now I'm going to take those 2 covers I made, and the last piece I put on, I believe that on the inside, but I think if you put it on the outside, it wouldn't matter. And so then center it on that piece. There's going to be, so you're centering it on that 3/4 of an inch, and you're centering it to where you see that 1/4 of an inch on this side and on that side. Okay, now let's let that dry. Like I say, that glue dries quickly, so, but I want to make sure that's mashed down there good. I mean, we mash things down here in the South. Okay, now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's mashed down on there. That will dry. Now, I'm going to put mash. I'm going to put glue on this side. Looks like that wiggled. It did. Ooh, get back down there. It did wiggle. It wiggled, waggled. So now let me see if I can unwiggle waggle it. Oh yeah, I got it. It wasn't quite dry. So, but it does dry quickly. So see, because I get in this rush, because I'm on Hollywood camera here, Universal Studios, you know, whatever. I want to make sure that's nice and short. Okay, I'm trying to go fast. You know, I don't want to get fired. I want to get paid by Universal Studios. Okay, so now, here we go again with the glue, and we're going to put that glue on that 3/4 of an inch by 7 1/4 inch. Okay, and be sure and put it on the spine. Don't put it on the cover, because if you put it on the cover, you may not get it like straight and stuff, or you might, you know, you might not get it in the right place. Or I know I would never. Or I'd have glue all over that cover, because that's how I roll. I get things all over. I had to get a drink of water here. Ah, that's good water. We get our water. We have a well, so we get. And then there's all these springs that run out under our state, and so, man, when we get well water, we get some good water. So sometimes I go with bottled waters just because they're quick, but usually. So now that's what the back is going to look like. That's what the spine is going to look like. Now, you don't have to leave that spine like that. You can cover it, or you could put bands across it or something. Okay, now, I don't want to mess with this so much before I I know it's good and dry. Okay, now let's see. Now this is how my book is looking. Alright? See how they turn? So you have the whole envelope. You see the whole entire envelope on the, as a page. You see the whole thing. The pocket. None of it's hidden inside of something or whatnot. And this one, you see the whole envelope. But now this one is actually 2 pockets. So when you put tags in there or whatever, you have 2 pockets in there. And it just gives it some pizzazz. And you know, pizzazz is what we're looking for always. So now in this, that's how, as we turn them, how nicely they turn. Okay, whoops, that one. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do here, which I didn't do on the last one I did, put that under there to prop that up. Prop my ink pads. Okay, let me put this here just to hold that down. Okay, now let me show you what I gotta move these over here so you can see. Oh, this is good because I'm gonna move this over here. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to put that right there a minute to dry while I explain to you this part. Okay, now this. Ooh, thunder. Boom booms. Thunder boom booms. Okay, now this. Alright. Now I have cut, I think I've got 14 that are going to fit in mine. Now, I cut pieces of paper 5 inches by 5 inches. And then I scored them at a 1/2 inch because I want to make a waterfall. And so I put them, yeah, whatever I just said. Cut them at 5 by 5. And now I'm scoring. I scored each, I did them once, but I waited for these. And I'm scoring these at 1/2 inch. To make the waterfall. And we just score them at 1/2 inch. And then, okay, that one I already scored. Okay, and then I also then I rounded the bottom corners with a 1/4 inch round. A 1/4 inch corner rounded. I used my big gulp, or whatever you call this thing. Chop crop, what the heck you call this thing? Crocodile corner chomper. Oh, that's what it is. It's a crocodile corner chomper. And it makes either 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. And so I'm using the 1/4 inch on this one. It just makes it look more finished, I think. I always cut them for him still. I don't think we let him have knives. I'm sorry, Papa. I spoil my grandson. I cut his waffles for him. Papa says, cut him yourself. Cut his fingers off. I don't want him to cut his fingers off. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here, is I'm just going ahead and I'm scoring these, folding them and scoring them. Now, I should have beforehand, I should have already done this. Now here I'm going to use tape again. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch, I don't know what this is. Does it even say? 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter each roll. I don't know what that means. That millimeter. They didn't teach us about all the millimeters when I was in school. They just said inches. And they let it be inches. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these. It won't take me long. If you want to, you can go refresh your coffee or something while I put these on. Now, I would tell you a joke, but I don't know any jokes. I know jokes. Jeff, you got any jokes?
I got some jokes.
You got jokes? Okay. Give me a good joke, Jeffrey. I need a joke. Okay. He's having a snack of Eggo waffles. He likes Eggo waffles for his snack, and for breakfast, and for lunch, and for dinner. I think this child could live on Eggo waffles with chocolate chips. And so, yeah, that's what he's having. Yeah, sometimes I remember, people can tell me jokes and I never remember. Or maybe I'll just remember like the punchline, but I don't remember the rest of the joke. Or I might remember the whole joke and not the punchline. And so I'm not a very good jokester. I don't remember jokes. But I like jokes. I don't like dirty jokes. So don't give me none of them dirty jokes. And I don't like political jokes. But I do like jokes. Sometimes I do like the blonde jokes. I used to get them a lot because I used to keep my hair blonde when I was working so that nobody would see the gray. I didn't want people to think I was old. Now I don't care, so I just leave it old. I just leave it all gray. 50 Shades of Gray, that's what color my hair is. Mahar. Mahar is 50 Shades of Gray. Last time I went and got it cut, the beauty shop lady, she said that people would just die for my hair because it was such a beautiful color. She may tell that to everybody, but I took it as, she just told me. Uh-oh, I hear more thunder. Here in Florida, our weather is like, you just never, we're in the rainy season. We had a drought for 3 months. We didn't have no rain at all. But now lately, we've been having some rain. And it comes up raining in the evening, and a lot of thunder and lightning along with it. Scares my dogs half to death. Scares me half to death. So I don't like that. Oh, thunder and lightning. And so usually I go under the bed. Well, actually, I don't go under the bed because I wouldn't ever fit under the bed. But I do go into bed because I say I'm going in there so I can protect my dogs, but really, I go in there, drag the dogs in with me, and they protect me, but I'm never going to press up to that. Okay, so now do you see now I'm quickly going to scour, no, not scour, what the heck word? Burnish. 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 I've learned a lot of words since I started watching YouTubes, and burnish is one of them. My burnish word. I never heard that word before then. I was looking up a word this morning because I didn't know what it was. Let me see. This was the word. I found it it's objet trouvé. Objet trouvé. I seen that, and it was in a group of little words that I got, some Tim Holtz or something. And I didn't know what that meant. So I looked it up, and I got to the, when I did the search to see what it was, I got to the Merriam-Webster's. It is so cool. You can go to merriam-webster.com, and they have, you can find the neatest words. The neatest words, plus they had, one place was, why, if there's one moose, is it called a moose? And if there's two moose, there's two moose. It's still moose. But now if there's a goose, if there's one goose, it's a goose. But if there's two gooses, there are geese. Why isn't it moose and meese if it's goose and geese? So then they explain to you. They will then explain to you in words you can understand that the words come from, one word, like moose, could come from Roman Empire or something, and geese might come from something else, and something might have come from 100 years ago, and another word might have come from 3,000 years ago. No, this time it's another daughter. Hang on, I don't know how to pause, so I'm answering it. Hello, darling. I'm doing a video right now. Okay, I'll call you back. Okay, I love you, darling. Okay, bye bye. Yeah, my my children, they call me up, and my daughter, she just lives next door. I'll call her back. And okay, so that was my moose and goose story. But you ought to go to Merriam-Webster and see all of the stuff. They give you little videos, in the okay, I better shut up and tell you what I'm doing. I'm now making the waterfall. So I put the double-sided tape on that half an inch because it's a half an inch. And so then now I'm just going to put that right there at the top. Now I'm going to take the next one, pull that tape covering off, and I'm going to put it right up against where that other half an inch was, see? So I got a half an inch in between each one, see? So you can see that half an inch right there. And then I go along with the next one, and I'll put that one then right below it and right even with that last one I put there. And I will continue putting these. I don't remember how many are going to fit. So I'm going to put that one on there. See, so far I've got 4. Doesn't go all the way to the bottom yet, so I'm going to go add another one. You know what I'm thinking I might do? I might make this album into a traveling album and give it to my Avon lady. My Avon lady's fixing to go on a trip to Italy. Well, she's not going till the end of September, so I would have some time. I'm thinking I might make her a little travel album that she can take to Italy with her. Is that where she's going, Italy? Yeah, it's Italy. She's going to Italy. If I make her an album, maybe that'll guarantee her to bring me home an Italian sausage or something. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to be able to fit one more on there. So, I'm going to... There. Now see, I don't know if you can see that, but this one goes to the edge. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be perfect. I could write day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, day 5. This could be 7 days. Okay, so now I want to do, see, I made sure that I have this waterfall going this way, the same way that the envelopes are in there. So everything is going to be nice and coordinated. Now see, I do mostly vintage when I make my albums. I'm a real vintage person. I guess that's because I am vintage. And so I'm going to probably do the decorating on this in vintage because I love vintage. I really should have been bored way back in the day because I love everything. I mean pioneer stuff, rustic, vintage, all of that. I love, love, love that stuff. Okay, see now? Now, I'm just doing this very, very basic. So I'm not doing the decorating because not online anyway, not on the video. I might, show it when I'm finished, but I might just have a little show and tell. But I'm just putting these on here like this so you get the general idea. Then you can, when you make yours, you can, decorate it however you want. Now see, there's another thing that I could have done. I didn't do it on this one, but you can like put a ribbon underneath here, and like a ribbon that goes all the way across, and then and long, you know, and then when you get all these, you can bring that ribbon up and tie it. I didn't do that on here because I'm just trying just to do the basic structure of the album. Now some people, even when they do their little waterfalls, they do like a strip of paper and make it come around and put a magnet, and it holds, the magnet will hold the waterfall down. And you don't even have to have something there. I mean, because it will stay down on its own. And, okay, now, here, look at this. Now, I have 7 on each side. 7. Now, these can be used to put photographs. Now, what I might do is to take coordinating a piece of paper, different paper, and I might make a mat to go on each one of these. And so because this is 4.5 by 5, yeah, each page here is 4.5 by 5, I would maybe make the mat a quarter of an inch, a half an inch smaller. And then that would be a quarter of an inch all the way around that you would see of the brown. And then, you know, like maybe I would do something like this, but that might be too much brown. I don't know. I'd have to look. And if I do this as make it like a travel journal for my Avon lady, I may put all traveling kind of stuff in here. But this is the basic journal right here. Now, this here end, you could also take, now you can leave it just like it is right here. You could leave that end just like this, and it would hold up just fine. But you can take, because now we have 1 inch. The spine is actually 1 inch. So you could take a piece, another piece of like 1 inch. Let me see here. Let me see. I have got, let me see. What size is this here? Okay, this is what I'm going to show you, what you could do. Here's my thingy. Here's my thingy. Okay, I need to cut this to, wait a minute, yeah. I'm going to cut this to as wide as this. No, wait a minute. What do I want to do? I want to cut this, say if I cut this 3 inches. I could cut that 3 inches, and then I would want to cut, okay, I need to cut a quarter of an inch-ish off of there, so I'm just going to guesstimate that right there. This is a short thing. And then if I were to, let's see. Okay, then if I were to find my bone folder, and then I cut that 3 inches. So if I score it at 1 inch and 2 inches, yeah, 1 inch and 2 inches, and then fold it like this. Then if I was to make me some, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch corner on this. Now, see, now this, I'm almost thinking I might do this on here. And I'm rounding these corners. And now if I were to take and do some stamping or something all over this, in fact, I think I will. I can put that on the back, on the spine of this. Actually, I should have cut it just a hair wider. Then glue that on there. Then that kind of finishes that binding, and it still opens. It will still open perfect, which I think I might do that. See, this is the first one I did like this. I don't mind that look, and I think it would be cute. I think it would look good with like leather straps, 3 straps. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and what I might do with this actually is emboss it with an embossing folder. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to emboss that with an embossing folder and then maybe ink it. I'm going to be inking edges, on these anyway. So I'm thinking if I emboss it with some kind of like a brocade, some kind of ancient looking one of my, I've got like 50 embossing folders. And if I do that and then ink it and then put it on here, I might even age the edge of it, scratch it with that, that thing that you can scratch things with and make it rugged looking. That's what okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. Connie, I hope this is what you wanted to see. I did this special for you because I love you, darling. Okay, now, that's it. Looks there. See, I got my gray hairs right in there. Okay, thank you guys for watching. How long have you been watching me? An hour and 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Oh. I didn't know I kept you that long. And so, I'm sorry I kept you that long. I have that gift gab, and I am slow. And this is just like my first real, like a tutorial thing. Now, if you want to ask me any questions, you just ask them below. But don't call me any bad names or anything, because that would make me cry. I don't want to cry. All right. So I love you guys. I love you so much. And God bless you. And may He watch every step you take, every move you make, every place you go. And carry an umbrella with you just in case it rains, and say hello to your neighbors. Okay. Love you. Bye-bye. That's it.